obviously what issues we're having is the racing, high speeds, CNR driving. So that's obviously what we're looking for tonight.
We're out here to crack down on the racing that's been going on throughout Durham County. We've getting a lot of complaints and citizens calling in from street racing. And so we're out here to enforce the speed and other traffic violations along the highways, whether it be Highway 55, US 70, and I-85. So we're out here to protect not only the citizens, but all the visitors that come through Durham County.
And tell me what exactly is street racing?
Street racing is when there's two cars, they get together, they decide that they're going to drive at an extremely high speed and to see whoever wins. So they're racing up and down the road, and that's one of the main reasons we're out here, because it's a danger not only to the public, but it's also a danger to themselves because they're going at extremely high speeds. And I've seen in excess over 100 miles an hour, and so that's why we're out here tonight. You don't have to know the person. It's just a matter of two people. They're on the same mind frame that a racing event is going to happen when the light turns green or whenever they honk the horn, and that's all it needs for it to be determined as predetermined street racing.
And what are the consequences of racing someone if you get caught?
Well, it's definitely felonies as far as the racing. And you also, the cars will be seized and the person will go to jail and have other traffic violations as well. The first thing you can do is go ahead and call 911. You can call the Durham County Sheriff's Office and we will get you in contact with either a patrol deputy that can go by during that time, or you can call in our community service department and we also have a traffic unit that will go out there and enforce the traffic violations in that area to kind of slow traffic down and make sure that people are going by the speed limit. This is not worth their life. Anything can happen when you're driving in excess of 40, 50 miles over the speed limit. Anything can happen from the other person drifting into your lane, and speeds at that high can have fatal outcomes, and that's not what we want, because at any point in time the driver of the car can lose control, things can break on the car, and then next you know the car is uncontrollable and it can also injure them as well, the bystanders.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mandy Cohen, Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. There's good news in the fight against COVID. Tested, safe, and effective vaccines will be available to all, starting with those most vulnerable to the virus. Rest assured, you have a spot and you'll be able to take your best shot against COVID. Tested on thousands of volunteers, the vaccines are safe and effective at protecting you from getting COVID. They have minimal side effects, just temporary reactions like swelling on your arm or being tired for a day or two. Find out when you can take your shot and where. Here's your spot.
When an emergency strikes in Durham County, will you know what to do? Receive critical, time-sensitive information straight to your device with Alert Durham.
Alert Durham provides you with critical information quickly for incidents like severe weather, hazardous materials, evacuations, and more. You can even choose the type of alerts you want to receive and how you want to receive them. Just go to alertdurham.com to register quickly and easily. Stay alert, stay informed, stay safe with Alert Durham.
When you see one of those pop-ups show up, the first thing you should do is verify that you have your antivirus running. Most of the time, when you buy a computer or when you use your computer, most of the time, hopefully you have antivirus installed. And anytime you do go to a website where you could have a potential risk, your antivirus should alert you and immediately quarantine the file or stop anything from coming through. If you have a firewall, that works too. Generally what these sites do is they run a program like a JavaScript as soon as you click on the website and you go to it, and a pop-up will show up. It'll say something like Microsoft, there's been an issue with your browser, your computer, they've detected some type of virus, and it usually shows up with a bunch of nonsense, and then it gives you a phone number. Generally when you call the phone number, you'll talk to somebody. Usually you'll get somebody and they'll ask you what problem you're having. Generally, they want information from you. They may even ask you to connect to them through different services they tell you to download, such as TeamViewer. And what that does, that allows you to give them remote access to your computer, which means all of your files. At that point, when you give them remote access to your computer, I mean, they can go in, change whatever they want, disable whatever they want, and basically hold you ransom, kind of like ransomware. Generally, before that happens, you know, if it's a serious issue, you wouldn't have to call a number that's soliciting you to let you know that there's an issue with your computer. Usually, when your antivirus software is running, there's going to be an icon in the system tray, usually in the lower right. It's going to let you know if it's running. I know a lot of times people get the antivirus on the computer when they first buy it, it runs out. Windows Defender is actually free through Microsoft. You can actually update that through your Windows Update, so that way you can kind of have some type of antivirus running on your computer at all times. However, it's not as good as something that's dedicated to that. It is a good program, but it's also good to have something a little bit stronger. So you have to be very careful when you're online. I mean, if you're get on every now and then and pay your bills and check a few emails, I mean, you can get, you know, basic antivirus. You don't have to worry about getting anything really strong. If you do work where you're doing sensitive data, I mean, there's all kinds of antivirus programs that help you with your connections, with firewalls, things like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of reputable companies out there that do provide antivirus and internet monitoring software. So the best thing to do would be to see what fits your needs. The best thing to remember when you're online is that people are always trying to take your data. They're always trying to get your information. Whether it be your Netflix account, whether it be your PayPal, Cash App, anything. If you have, you know, if you're apprehensive or have second thoughts about a purchase, or if you're worried about it not being legitimate, you can always go to the website and inquire. You can go to Contact Us. You can contact the website and say, hey, you know, I was going to make this purchase, or I was going to do this, and give them the example that you know, you ran into. And generally they'll communicate with you and let you know whether it's legitimate or not. But definitely be diligent in guarding your information. Watch out for fake emails. Emails that look like they're from your banking institution. Make sure you check the email. I mean, even if you bank with Wells Fargo, there's people out there that will create websites and send you emails that look like they're wellsfargo.com. But if you hover your mouse over the hyperlink, the hyperlink will usually tell you where it goes to. So even if it says wellsfargo.com and you put your mouse over it, the hyperlink may say www.2. bunch of other stuff .net/whatever. So at that point, you can definitely tell that, one, it's not from your bank. If you have second thoughts or you're curious, call your bank, verify. Same thing with cell phones. Same thing with AT&T, T-Mobile. People are always out there trying to take your data. So we definitely want you or everybody to be diligent in protecting your data.
At the time, I just wasn't thinking. I used social media to vent. I wish I would have thought about the effects of scaring people. I didn't mean for that to happen. People took it as a terrorist threat. The university got shut down. I got arrested by the FBI. And now, I don't know what my future looks like. I search my name on the web almost every day and look at the stuff. It's not going away. Think before you post.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that Dakota? She knows better. Let me get out and talk to her.
Now, Dakota, I know you're just enjoying hanging out here with Caden on Bring Your Dog to Work Day, but you know we're always telling people what they have to do to be in compliance with the ordinance, and you're out here violating the ordinance.
How?
You know Caden has to be on a leash when he's not restrained on his own property or in a secure enclosure, so he's got to be under adequate restraint.
I totally forgot.
I'm even going to give you a free leash.
Thank you, because we give these out in the community, right?
We do give out free leashes.
I'll put it on him now.
I'm sorry, Caden, but it's for your protection and the protection of others. Don't forget, you can also consider other adequate restraint, such as an e-collar.
What's that?
An e-collar is an electronic device that allows you to maintain control of your animal even if they're not on a physical restraint. So you can consider talking to your trainer or your animal behaviorist and find a sufficient electronic device that would work for Caden, and then you'd be able to let him play more.
That's a really good idea, Melinda.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me about our leash law and the ordinance for making sure that our dogs stay safe and contained.
Absolutely. And don't forget, the at-large ordinance does not apply if you're in a dog park here in Durham, which we have several of. They're fenced-in areas. You have to have your dog on a leash when you go from the car to the dog park gate, but once you get in the gate, it's a free-for-all for all the dogs.
Okay, one more question real quick. If I was in my yard with Caden, would he have to be leashed or wearing an e-collar?
Not as long as he's on your property. Remember, the ordinance says once he's off of your property. So if he's not on your property, then he's got to be under restraint. But he's free to play in the yard freely as long as he stays in the yard.
All right. Well, we'll do better next time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And this is MelinKota with your at-large ordinance for this month.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Mandy Cohen, Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. As we begin to venture out again, help protect your family and neighbors from COVID-19 by practicing your 3 W's. Wear a cloth face covering, wait 6 feet apart, wash your hands often, or use hand sanitizer. Wear, wait, wash. We're all in this together. Stay strong, North Carolina.
Last year, here at Alliance, we trained over 200 first responders in CIT training.
Unfortunately, a lot of the individuals that we deal with on a daily basis suffer from either an addiction or mental illness. Having deputies and officers trained to understand those signs, to understand how to comfort those individuals and de-escalate whatever anxieties they're feeling is critical.
Not every day a citizen is going to be having a good day. Sometimes they're going to be in crisis. And we want to teach them how to eradicate the stigma and be able to help people so that whatever situation they are placed in is not such a traumatizing event.
It's being able to talk to them, try to empathize with them and relate to them at some point. Sometimes it's just a matter of being heard. To really know that we're not here against them, but we're here with them.
So I work on patrol, and I know a lot of people think that, you work on patrol, the first thing you want to do is arrest somebody. But if I step back out of that, this person committed a crime type of mentality, then I go back into, okay, well, what's really going on here? Am I going to have to deal with this person again? Is this person going through something else? Are they having a crisis? Are they upset? Are they just having a bad day? Or is there a bigger issue that's going on? So being on patrol, sometimes I step out of myself and say, okay, how can I help you? What do you really need? And then maybe the best option is for them to go talk to somebody. Maybe they just need a hug that day. I have given out plenty of hugs, and it has come back to me that people say, oh, you know what, that day you talked to me and you gave me a hug and it really helped me.
I took away from it was not only am I dealing with public or detainees, is what I've learned within myself. The instructors were wonderful. They kind of went into their backstories on what they've gone through. So it's not even just about the public or citizens, it's about us as officers, because we have to go through some of this stuff as well. So we're learning what we can do. And not only is there resources for the civilians, there's resources for us as officers.
A lady was going through a crisis. She had on a robe, she had on shorts and bedroom shoes, and this is in the middle of the day at the bus stop, just walking around, and she was saying the most craziest stuff that a normal person wouldn't say, but you wouldn't realize unless you kind of like are attentive to that or what's going on, that she needed something else at that time. So that day she was kind of combative. She was running in front of a city bus. So to me, that's extreme. That's an emergency. She might try to kill herself. She can put other people in danger as well, because everybody was trying to stop to not hit her. Took her to the hospital that day, and I remember going to the hospital and talking to her about taking her shoes off, because the nursing staff needed her to take her shoes off, and she didn't want to do it. So I found a way to find something on her that she liked. I saw that she liked the color pink, and I'm like, hey, you like the color pink? Look at this bag. This bag is pink. Let's put your shoes in this bag because it's your favorite color. And I could see how the nursing staff was looking at me like, oh wow, she really knows how to talk to the lady. So fast forward, I seen that same lady that I helped that day like a couple of months later, and it was her birthday. She said, my birthday's coming up, and I just want to tell you thank you that you really helped me that day, which helps build up a relationship with the community as well, because everybody out there saw that I helped her. So a lot of people come to me and say, oh, remember that day you helped that lady? So now they already know, okay, the officers are trained to deal with this kind of situation. So if I have to go through this situation, or somebody I love goes through this situation, then I know they will help me.
We know that across the country, there have been many issues, many incidents that we can point to where African Americans were either not treated fairly or were used.
We're in a new generation. A lot of us are afraid because we do not have a primary doctor that we can have trust and faith in.
It is unquestionably something that everyone, especially in the African American community, should take.
Don't wait until you would have wished you had. Go ahead now. Believe the science.
The only way we're going to be able to stop this virus is by all of us taking the vaccine.
You have a long life if you can prevent the diseases and prevent the illness.
I feel the same way I did as I did the day before I took the shot.
I feel great. I had no side effects. I waited on 15 minutes. I feel okay.
So I want to really encourage people to go on and take the vaccine. Prevention is so important.
You have a spot?
Take your shot.
You have a spot. Please take your shot.
dozen significant tropical and winter storms that threaten the East Coast. So chances are there will be more hurricanes and blizzards near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Durham County Sheriff's Office, where's your emergency? Okay, we'll get deputies on the way.
Order! Move!
How y'all doing this morning? Come on through.
I'm Durham County Sheriff Clarence Burkhead, and we want you to join our team. Honor, duty, service. If you have what it takes, our recruiting starts now.